What's up, you guys? Welcome back to At the Creative Table. We are looking different again for episode number 8. So you can see Ruby and Chris are here. Ivy's not here, so keep praying for her. We're joined by a guest. Guest, you want to introduce yourself?
What's going on, y'all? Y'all know who it is. It's your boy, the man, the smoothest DJ in the land. It is DJ D Dubb. Better known as the White Hans.
Yes.
Better known as Christy, handsome, marvelous. I'm just here. I'm her hubby. I'm also Ruby's brother. Brother from another mother, but the same daddy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
And we here. What's going on, y'all?
Yes, what's up? Thank you guys so much for tuning in again. We're at the Creative Table with Ruby, Chris, and Dwight this time.
Yeah.
And we're really talking about behind the scenes BTS content and even like what does social media not show, you guys. So shout out to Horror Lodge, where we are filming this podcast. It's in Fuquay Varina, North Carolina. If you are in the area and you're looking for a creative space to record podcasts, to shoot content, they have indoor and outdoor locations for shooting. Check them out. We get the opportunity to shoot in this space through a partnership that Chris has with them. So thank you, Horror Lodge. Thank you, Chris. Yes. And today we are pulling back the curtain on behind the scenes because social doesn't really tell the whole story, you guys, right?
Right.
And I feel like we live in this social media world, but there's unseen hours that you see from editing, planning, even for you, Dwight, I'm sure as a DJ, like unseen hours. But you're starting to show some of yours, like your behind the scenes stuff through like getting on. Are you still doing, is it Twitch or TikTok? I know you're doing TikTok lives like as you're building your sets and your music.
That platform is growing and then we're getting ready to, I was just on a call today on the way here about, really getting into Twitch again. Cause that's where it started. It started on Twitch.
Right.
And then when TikTok gave me I guess I had to give some analytics to get into that space. And then once I did that, I was able to grow the community there. And then now we're just going to put it between the two. But
yes.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think one thing I like that I see from Dwight that he's doing in terms of behind the scenes is like, sometimes we're trying to figure out things to post and like you're just posting the process and you're posting the behind the scenes of that process. And as you're working a business, especially like for me and Chris, because we do have full-time jobs, sometimes it can feel like a lot. And there's so much like that people don't get an opportunity to see. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So I'll hop into the first question for you guys. What's one thing that clients or your followers might be surprised to know that goes on in the behind the scenes process? And Chris, how about you talk about it? For those of you who don't know, Chris does like all the content for Dwight that you see on his page, all his pictures, video, that he's not doing himself is coming from Chris. So like, what's one thing that you think clients don't see in your BTS process?
The editing. I think that the client, they don't see the editing. You have to put in a lot of work because the time stamp of when you're doing the behind the scenes.
Right.
And actually just having kind of like before the event is going on, in my mind, I know what I kind of want to capture when I'm doing his events.
Right.
Like him setting up, him actually DJing, or him speaking, or even when he's on TikTok, I know how I want to set it up.
Yes. Yeah. And Dwight, what would you say like people aren't seeing that Chris is doing for you, like in the behind the scenes moments when she's capturing your work?
Yeah, it's a lot that she puts into it that a lot of people don't realize. The emotion that she captures. Like, if anybody see the BTS that pops up and that she does, it's that emotion. Like, if you as a BTS creator, because there is a BTS space. Like, you can be a creator just in BTS alone, and but for her to capture those moments and me in like mid grooving, you know what I'm saying? For her to catch that also brings a sense of awareness to people to know, like, okay, it's not just him playing music, like it's him actually putting his emotion into it. She creates a story within the BTS that people don't know, right? It's not just pressing record and then you're just posting it. Like, no, you really pressing record, you're finding that moment that she catches or whatever that's happening, and she adds that into what's gonna happen into the package of a recap, right? Yeah. So what she did a few years ago, she started this a few years ago with the recap in the BTS, right? She went from just doing photography to taking pictures for me, to just now like, okay, let me create this video of what he does, right? And how he does it. And it changed the game for me and for other people to understand the behind the scenes life of what I actually do, right? She'll take a quick video of me walking in the door at the event, me talking to somebody at the event, me setting up at the event, and then me performing at the event, me breaking down at the event. Like, so everything is all packed into a 30-second, but it's not a 30-second video. Does that make sense? Yeah. So a BTS, she can do 8 to 10 hours worth of video or 2 to 3 hours worth of video, and she can crop it into 30 seconds. That's what kind of that BTS recap is. So, but yeah, people don't realize that hours of footage can be crimped in and cropped into 30 seconds.
Into 30 seconds, yes. And I love that, Dwight, you called out like BTS is a whole thing, because when I think of movies, I think of documentaries, I'm going to age myself, but that's fine. Like, you guys remember, like, you used to buy the DVDs and then, like, you get a whole DVD of, like, all these special scenes or, like, the cut scenes that didn't make it. Yep. Or even people being interviewed behind the scenes. Yep. So, like, BTS has been a huge part of, like, the creative industry for a while.
Stranger Things just did that.
Yes.
They did that. They just, and it was so weird. They really they just did that where they did a whole series of behind the scenes of how they made Stranger Things. Before, you've seen it, but they really wasn't doing a behind the scenes of how you make the movie. They wasn't showing the graphics and stuff like that. Now they have it wide open because it's so real now to where they get to show you what it looks like. And when you look at the behind the scenes stuff, you're like, wait, it looks like that?
Yes, yeah.
Exactly.
And just the things that, like, when you talk, I watched all of the Stranger Things stuff, guilty. My nephew used to live with me, and he's a young adult now, but he got me into Stranger Things, and just like getting a chance to see how those actors like are really pulling out the motions and what parts are there and what parts aren't there, and the ways that they get to show that final product on the scene. So I think one of the things that both of you guys talked about is just how important that BTS is. Not just shooting, Chris, you shooting for your husband, but I think also shooting for anyone else. One thing you guys didn't mention, and I've had the privilege to see this and see these two in action, you guys, BTS, for me, I immediately thought about prayer. Like, that's a moment sometimes that people don't get to see, but I know you guys incorporate it all the time when you're working together, right? That just hit my spirit as I heard you guys talking. I was like, wait, those moments are BTS. And I think back to even Dwight, when you had your book event,
book signing
event.
No, that's
how powerful catching that.
That's
prayer.
A life BTS right there. Yeah, that's a life. Yeah, you getting deep now. Yeah, that's a life BTS.
Like, where's our
let me put my hand on that, because that's a life BTS. Because I remember Chris talked about that in episode 1, about her with prayer, and she was explaining how prayer was something that we implemented and do every day. You know what I'm saying? And once we did that, it wasn't always something that we always did, but once we started doing it, we noticed that it was like, okay, the shift was happening. You know what I mean? And I think that also, one thing I love that what Chris do with her work is also she knows me, right? So she knows what emotion that she's gonna get from me and out of me, and she know what emotions to catch. So if you don't know your client, or you don't know your ideal client, that's why you gotta kind of do your homework before you do work with them, and or before the date comes, so you get to know that person, so you can kind of create that behind the scenes and not just try to capture moments. So when me and Chris do with prayer, when we do prayer and stuff like that every day behind the scenes with prayer, we'll go out to eat. That's behind the scenes. We pour into each other first before we do a life event with anybody else or anything else. You know what I mean? So that's a life behind the scene thing that we do. You know what I mean? Yes. But yeah, you got deep with the life thing. I thought we was gonna stay in the creative thing.
Listen, as I heard the two of you talking, like I was like, oh, like that was a BTS moment that I got a chance to see, because I don't, travel with you guys all the time, and get to see those moments.
We're gonna manifest that. Yeah. But you have been on a lot of events with us, and we're blessed for that.
And that's one of the consistent things that I've seen, like that goes on behind the scenes, like, and I think as people of faith, like it's nothing wrong with talking about it. For you guys, when did capturing the BTS kind of start, right? So did it start immediately? Were you always capturing it for Dwight, Chris, or when did it start? It started
when the day I met him. Okay. I've always had a phone in my hand. I'm always capturing moments just so that I can later on go back and look at, like I said, times maybe I don't feel well or I just want to put a smile on my face. I can go back and say, oh my God, we were laughing, we were silly. He can be having a conversation with our girls and I just capture it. Right. So from the day we met is literally, but far as business wise, ever since he started DJing, I've always been literally behind him, capturing those moments and making those videos and just sending them to him, even when maybe wasn't as consistent on social media, but he had those videos and I would send him 20 videos every event, and to the point where we would get to an event. I can't even say which one because he's been on a lot of them and I've been right there, but he'll say, you got something for me by the end of the event. Right. And gladly, I already sent it to you. It's already done because he didn't have his phone. He didn't have his phone with him. It's already done. You get to choose and pick which one you want to do, or maybe you want to add a different song than what I had or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, she would do it literally. Like if I'm doing a conference or something like that, and literally in real time, like it could be from 7 to 12. Mm-hmm. She already has something for me by lunchtime, right? So I can rarely say, Chris, you got something for me? I don't have to ask that question, right? She's already sending it. That's already there. Sometimes she's already sending it. She like, hey, and then she also says when she sends it, it's like, hey, I put this song with it. You could put your own song to it. You know what I mean? So she still gives you that, gives me that reign of the decision, right? So, but I could say honestly, on the life side of BTS, she's been doing BTS way before she met me. Like she can say, when she met me and stuff, and for her example of, because of the videos and the photos and stuff that she did when she's not feeling good. Mm-hmm. But like she was the one that would come up with these video and photo collages for families.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So she always was that. Anytime that we have anything, when the girls growing up, that's all she had. She had BTS of the girls growing up since day one.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So where every time that, again, she don't feel good or we together as family, we look at these videos and that's all BTS. The girls be like, Mommy, when did you write that? Or when did you make that video? And I'm like, the same thing. I'm like, how did you, and when, and why? But she also had to tell us, yes, when I'm not feeling good and she's battling with flare-ups and stuff like that, the BTS is what come to life. So when she's doing that for me, it's easy for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she's been doing it.
And it's already part of her. Yeah. And you guys made me think of like two different things I kind of want to go into from that. And we're way off script here, so we're just letting the Holy Spirit lead. But so you talked about BTS in terms of like capturing for families. And I know you guys have recently, had a death. You lost your dad. Mm-hmm. Like, how important are those moments to capture?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we forget that and we miss it because maybe we're at a family event and we don't look a certain way.
I don't miss.
Not feeling a certain way.
When I tell you I don't miss, it's like you don't forget to breathe. Mm-hmm. I don't forget BTS on anything that we do. Even when me and you started, I literally had my phone there and it's just something that's just automatic. I just don't miss when it comes to that. And I'm not going to say every single moment, but and you're right. With my dad, one of his last photo shoots with his Corvette was for his birthday. And me and Dwight and my mom and my dad, and that's what he wanted for his birthday, so we can blow up pictures. But those moments last forever. Yeah. So while I was actually doing the shoot with my camera, Dwight was doing the BTS for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then, you know what I mean? So it was just moments that we create that you'll never get back, that will last a lifetime. Yes. You know what I mean? And beyond. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm able to look at those, and not, the pictures are beautiful that I edited, but it's the BTS of us laughing and, you know, I'm telling him, like, Dad, you're driving this $90,000 car and you got on your sandals, stuff like that. Where we can look back and laugh at stuff like this that, it can put a smile on our face, in such a tough time. So, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So you guys, if you are looking for a creator or just a professional to capture BTS for you, yes, we're pointing to Chris, like, absolutely. Like, she has the camera, she has the glasses, like somewhere in a corner she's capturing something and you didn't even realize it. She's somewhere like this. Yep. And Dwight, yes. Mm-hmm. And so the other question I had is, like, we talked about how important those moments can be for family. Dwight, how important has Chris been captured? How important has it been for your brand as a DJ for Chris to capture that BTS and for you to be able to share it with your target audience and your clients? That's a good question. Ruby, you good, man. She is. Good, man. You good. I ain't gonna lie, it's been really, really important because I begged, look at me, y'all. I begged for footage from events that I've done when I wasn't there. When she wasn't there. Yeah. There was videos and footage that I would beg for, and y'all talked about this, like for free gigs and for paid gigs. I was still begging to this day. You know what I'm saying? What's that Deontay Wilder? To this day, I'm still begging. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I always do appreciate, and I don't have to say nothing to Chris when it comes down to stuff like that. Like, she's already on point. She's already there with it. Again, because it matters, and it's again a 15 to 30 second video that means a lot to an individual. That's like, hey, I wonder what it looks like to be on, because I never knew that was a thing, Ruby. Right. I never knew it was a thing that people want to know what's the day in the life of
DJ D Dubb or Christy Love or Coach Ruby. Like, no, I never thought there was a day, but there is. People really want to genuinely know what it is and what it looks like and what it takes to do that. And that's why behind the scenes stuff is so important. That's why bloopers, when people do bloopers and add bloopers to their podcast now, that's so important because people want the real. Right,
so we're letting people know, like, we make mistakes. Like, like
we make mistakes. So a lot of stuff that happens that Chris would put, and she'll send it to me. She'll be like, "Hey, there was something in that video that would kind of, I don't know if that's gonna work." I'm like, "Nah, it's gonna work," because one thing about my brand is that I want people to know that we genuine. Do fall. And we fall in real time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've always said that from day one. I don't want to wait
He's
time.
in my head. Yeah. I literally said that earlier. You're in my head.
I don't want, you know what I'm saying? What's up, girl? Hey. You know what I'm saying?
I might have to separate these two.
I've been trying not to say nothing and hold myself the whole time. Just the fact, just the fact that I'm sitting here 13 years knowing this young lady over here. And the fact that she has a podcast, she's speaking up and she's opening up, something that I've been wanting her to do for 13 years, and she's doing it. Don't get me wrong. She was opening up to people and pouring into people, but for her to get on this mic and in this camera, and for her to do this, it's just a complete blessing. And for you to help her along this journey, and Ivy, shout out to Ivy and everybody that's along this journey for her to do this is just a blessing. So let me get back on topic.
Yeah. Well, look, I got a question for Chris, because you talked about, like, sometimes you don't even have to say anything to her. So, like, how do you stay in sync with Dwight or even with your clients that you're shooting for, without having to communicate and making sure that you're capturing the content that they need? Because Dwight said, like, he doesn't have to say anything, but you get everything every time.
So far as what Dwight is, I know him. Mm-hmm. Dwight may not know, or I'm going to be honest, clients may not know what they need. Mm-hmm. If they've never had BTS done for them, or maybe they have from someone else, but to say, this is what I can offer, so I know what he would need for this particular event. You know what I mean? Or if I see it, I'm like, oh, that's a good moment. Like, he took his glasses off. He's about to go in. I know him. He puts his hair up. Oh, it's about to go down. He outside. So I know him. So because I work with him all day, every day, you know what I mean? I kind of know when it's time, we're supposed to show up. But far as like a client, if I'm doing a shoot, I just put my phone up and I'm just recording. Mm-hmm. Now, the BTS typically is for me, and then I'll tag them, and they're like, oh, I didn't even know. And in the consultation and before, I do talk about, hey, in contract, is it okay that I take this BTS? Is it okay if I post this? Because I'm going to use this for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So having that talk with them of what we need, or like, hey, I don't want to do, and I've never had anyone say no. I've never had anybody say no, because I'm like, especially if they're doing something for their business, this is marketing for you. Like Dwight said, people want to see what you're doing. Mm-hmm. They want to be able to relate to, you know what I'm saying, who you genuinely are. We're just people out here. Like, we're just trying to, make it work and be good people.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
And it, like you said, like, with Dwight just taking his glasses off, you knew, right? That's a tell. And
it's either take them off, or when he go when he's DJ, he go like this. It's about to go down. Like I can be talking. It's so funny. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no, you're fine.
And if you ever been at an event with us, you probably know. I can be talking to somebody, but my eyes is never off of Dwight. Facts. Not because of anything else of, like, oh my God, who's he talking to? No, because I don't want to miss getting that moment for him recording. So me and you are talking, and that's the Dwight there. I'm like, and then I see him like get his scrunchie out to put his hair up. I'll be right back.
Right.
And I'm and I'm there. Or I'm even recording while I'm talking to them. It's just natural for me. Yeah. And somebody, I don't know who it was with us, and they were like, you never took your eyes off. And I put the video together, and they were like, when did you do all that? I was literally sitting right next to you, because I'm just doing it. I'm not really paying attention to what else is going on. I'm looking and seeing what he needs.
Right. Yeah, and when you were talking about that, like I thought of like sports tales because
All right.
right, like if somebody is tugging on their shirt right before they go do a run or something or make a play, and I'm probably ruining this for football players, but yeah, that made me think of just like shooting sports, like. This, when I shoot sports that I know a little bit better and I'm a bit more comfortable with, I know like there's a moment that's about to happen.
Yeah.
Or if I'm shooting events that I've been to like this type of event, I know what's about to happen. Even if that event happens to be like a worship service, like I know something is about to happen, you know, and you can kind of feel the atmosphere shifting based on those tells. So,
and I think it comes with experience. So if you have a new client, maybe you won't know the face expression, maybe you won't know, but then that's when you just keep recording so you don't miss the moment.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to say this too. There's been times where Dwight will look up and he'll be like, do this to me, right? And basically, like, you're not recording, but I've already got everything I need.
Right.
I've already got it. I'm just enjoying the rest of the moment. Because I'm like, you don't need a whole bunch. Like, you don't need... I'm a recap or just a little bit for social. I'm not here to do the whole entire event. So I know he's like, you're not. And I'm like, I'm not going to waste all this time on my phone and do this.
Right.
Yeah. And I feel like social media is like telling us we have to be always on and always doing something. So like, Dwight, do you feel like at all social media kind of distorts that a little bit in terms of like, you always have to have some type of content? Does it distort like those moments where maybe you are doing something, but you just haven't posted it?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's why I switched my idea to genuinely just give them the real at all times, like BTS or not. Like if Chris is not giving me BTS videos or recap videos, I'm giving you the raw. You know what I mean? Or I'm giving you something that happened, like a highlight or something like that. So,
or you go live a lot.
I've been starting to go live a lot now, and when I go live a lot, it's not a character, right? So there is some people that, no disrespect, but there are some people that have to have a character and turn on that character in order for them to keep their audience engaged and happy. But I don't. God bless me to where I don't have that. Like, I have that natural ability to show the raw of. If I do mess up as a DJ, when I'm mixing and I'm playing, like, that's my behind the scenes in real time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I show that because I'm live. I can't. I think that's why another reason why I love going live now versus what I was just doing events, because when I'm going live now, Ruby, is like you get to really hear when I mess up. Like, you get to hear it. You get to hear when I mess up. You get to hear when I stop. You get to hear when I'm like, hey, y'all, I'll be back. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Chris is like, she texting me on the side. Did you eat? I'm telling them in real time. I'm showing them the text like, hey, look, Chris just told me that I eat. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm having this experience, and I'm giving them the real behind the scenes moments with them live. So social media is a type of tool that unfortunately tells you that you have to just post just that moment. You know what I'm saying? But I'm starting to see the shift of behind the scenes content a lot more than I am seeing the actual real. There's gonna be some people that's still gonna post their money. They're gonna post this, they're gonna post that. They're not posting how they get it or nothing like that. But you're starting to see in some platforms the transparency of people's gift,
right,
and how creative they are.
Yes, yeah.
So social media is switching depending on what platform you're on. But you're starting to see that, like, BTS is starting to come to the forefront for real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And since you go live so much, like, we're talking to our audience who are, you know, some maybe not new creatives, but maybe afraid to kind of get out there. What are some tips you have for people to go live just to show their process?
Yeah. I would say if you really strongly believe in your heart that you can change a person's thought, and you can give them the experience of who you are as a creative, no matter what that is, go for it. You know what I mean? Go for it. There's plenty of times where I will go live, just because I'm a natural people person. Me pressing live, that can shut down my whole thought process. That can shut down. That's like me learning reading a book, and then you ask me what that book is about. I probably can't tell you what the whole book is about, right? So if you go live, you may freeze, but you also have to understand that's why the behind the scenes moments is so important. You know what I mean? You got to learn those steps, like behind the scenes of how to go live, when to go live, at what time to go live. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because if you just pressing live, you just get out, you just wake up and press live. You probably press live at the wrong time, where nobody's up, nobody's engaged, like, right? So you have to know when you go live, why you're going live, who you're going live for. You got to have all these behind the scene questions, because if you don't, then you're just going to be pressed live and you're wondering why nobody's in your room,
right?
Why nobody's in your live and stuff like that. Is because you didn't go behind the scenes and find out who's your creative audience first. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
You do your research.
You do your research. So I've done my homework of who's my ideal, like my girl Nikki say, like, who's your avatar? Like, you know what I mean? I found out who's my avatar is. I found out who is that person that I'm talking to when I hit live. Who is that audience that I'm going for, and I'm really want to conversate and communicate and help change their life. I know who that is.
Excellent. So I'm hearing, like, do the behind the scenes research, know who you're talking to, know when they're around, right? Because, like, if I'm talking to preachers, I'm probably not going to go live on, like, Sunday.
You're
not
going live Sunday at 10 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
but what I started doing was I started going live at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock on Sunday. So I can help that preacher.
Right.
If they need that push or they need that boost, or someone that's getting ready to go to church, give them that push, give them that boost. So when they go to church, they already sweated already. They already had a good time. They already worshiped already before they got to church. So when they get there, they can still, they can get the extra icing on the cake. Also for people that don't go to church. So, you know what I mean? So because I've done the BTS of knowing there's people that don't go to church or they don't have a church home.
Yes.
So music and what I do in music is also a feeder for them if they don't have a church home.
Yes.
So I did that behind the scenes work of knowing, okay, I'm getting these certain people in my lives. Okay, let me know who they are. Let me know what they're about. Let me start talking to them, get to know them. So I know probably 60% of the people that's on my live, 7 o'clock in the morning, they don't have a church home, or they don't know what church is. So that's where the music comes in, and that's where all that stuff come in. But it's a behind the scenes work for sure.
Yes. Thank you for sharing those tips with us.
Yeah.
Chris, do you have any questions for Dwight or for any of us here at the table at all?
I'm going to ask you, Ruby.
Okay.
Because you've been talking to me and Dwight a lot.
Yeah, I got questions for Ruby too.
I've been enjoying this. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask just a little bit about behind the scenes as well for you. Do you, like for me, it just comes natural to do that. Do you feel like now moving forward, will you do more of like the BTS and post more?
I think I will. Just hearing the two of you talk even and just knowing the two of you and like what you do, I think I will. And where I'll probably do it is a little bit more on YouTube, like on my Coach Ruby J page. Yeah. So, hey. If you guys
One more time.
Yeah.
One more time. Okay.
If you guys want to start following me. And there is just, I'm actually Coach Ruby J on all social medias, but
I haven't heard that in any of the episodes, so for you to do that.
Yeah. But yeah.
You too, boo. You got to do that too, okay?
Okay.
So in terms of like sharing, like I just realized what I've been watching you do, Dwight, and then even Chris yesterday, was it yesterday or maybe it was like earlier in the week where you were just kind of showing me like, oh, I set this up and I set this part of my space up. Like I can do the same thing, and show my audience like, oh, here's I'm doing some test shots for a shoot that I have coming up, and why not bring them behind the scenes and show them what I'm doing, and not because you guys know I'm a recovering perfectionist. Yeah, and like Dwight said, like I can just mess up on that platform and show people like how I'm working around it.
Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah. So I think I will do more. Absolutely.
Let's go.
It took us a minute to find it.
So it's like again, if you start to look at the platforms that you're on, if you ever look on YouTube and you look at these creatives that's creating, what's going viral is their behind the scenes, is their messed ups, like them messing up, or something is happening. They're really not posting the actual highlights anymore. If someone trips and falls and in the middle before they come and record the podcast, that's the part that's going viral, not the podcast itself.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
So some of that is you starting to notice that, like, if somebody is the podcast, and there's a fight that breaks out, what's going viral? The fight.
Right.
But now,
what
we're gonna do is they're gonna chop the fight from the podcast. The fight happened probably 2 hours, 3 hours into the podcast, but they're gonna chop out the fight and bring the fight to the front of the. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
They're gonna bring the fight to the. So now
The beginning.
they're gonna bring that to the beginning. They're gonna chop that up in 15 seconds. This fight broke out in a podcast, so now you have no choice but to watch that 3-hour podcast because you're waiting to see the fight.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So
That's called marketing with BTS.
that's BTS marketing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So people, that's happening everywhere in every platform. So you got to know when it comes down to what that looks like. So BTS is not a bad thing. BTS was never a bad thing. BTS is always around. People would just get nervous and scared and be like, "Oh, what does that look like?" No, you just like shout out to, I'm gonna say the podcast. Shout out to the Pivot podcast. Like, I like that they record and then they talk to each other. They dap each other up. They say what's up to each other. They talk for like the first 5 minutes.
Right.
Before they say, all right, record, like we're about to record, and then they start their podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like they giving their
Absolutely.
behind the scenes before they start.
Like on our episode 1 when I was giving you guys a nice little song.
Yes.
And we were just being silly. We just wasn't
And
planned.
then me in the background, I'm like, let's take a picture. That's me in the background saying, let's take a picture and stuff.
It's just being real.
People love that. People want that. So BTS is to the front for sure.
Yeah.
My question to you, Ruby. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to actually the BTS, because you did it, so I'm only going to do it to you because you did it to us. You know what I'm saying? You gave us the life BTS, right? What is your life? What is your BTS that you've learned so far in life that's causing that BTS moment to make you do something like this, a podcast? Like, what was that BTS moment for you that made you start saying, okay, let me get on this, let me start this creative table with my ladies.
Right.
That people don't know behind the scenes, y'all have accountability call. That's behind the scenes.
Right.
And that accountability call is what caused y'all and what made y'all start something like this. So what is that behind the scenes moment that you had that made you do what you're doing now?
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Look, he's deep because he's married to me.
Hey, man.
That's a great question. I think for me, the behind the scenes moment that like gave me the confidence to be here is just all of the ideas that I have in booklets, right? All of the podcast formats that I have, the list of guests or type of guests I want to put on shows, and to just have that moment where Chris messaged us and she was like, hey, let's start a podcast and let's record. Like, Friday, and it's it's a Wednesday.
It's Wednesday,
and I had to be real and honest with myself and just be like, okay, like either you could leave all this stuff on the shelf, or you can start taking action and start doing it. So I think it's remembering all of the content ideas that I do have, and just saying, okay, it's time to faith plus works.
There you go.
That's right.
Put works with my faith.
That's right. What about you, Boo? What's that? What's your BTS story?
Well, I think I've said it a few times, but my BTS story was and will be my health. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? BTS was healing for me, where I can look back and look at moments of the girls young, me young, in the beginning stages of us together, my dad, my mom. Just all the important things, my siblings, like I can go on and on. Mm-hmm. I have it, it's funny. My brother will text me and be like, hey, you have a picture of when I was like 3, just something funny like that, because they say I'm the archives, like I have pictures. So that was my moments of like BTS, and it's healing because it makes me smile. It makes me tap out of whatever I'm going through, and I can look at that album of 2012 and put a smile on my face and was like, at this moment, maybe on this day, I was doing this. Girl, you've either came a long way or you've changed, or the ideas I may have had then, or an event that we did, and I'm laughing because I'm like, look how goofy we look. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But we started, but we did this, but look how far we are now with, like you said, faith plus works and a whole lot of prayer. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Chris was before the memories. Some of the social apps got like your memories.
Yeah, memories. That was her for memories. Sure. Yeah. Because what she do is she'll send you memories to your phone.
Yes.
She send memories to your phone because she's trying to clear her space on her storage on her phone. So she'll send it to all of us and blast it. And now one reason is because I'm in every single group thread. I get the same video 20 times because she sent it to 20 different people in the 20 different group chats. So, but that's the thing about it. It was like her with that BTS is just so important and then so monumental that sometimes with me before then, like, I've always been a wise person, and I always had wisdom and knowledge, and I've always been growing up.
Shout out to yourself.
You know what I'm saying? I've always had that growing up, you know what I mean? But I never thought that a photo could bring you such like happiness, joy, wisdom, peace, like just knowing where you came from from a photo.
When you said peace,
it brings you peace. I really didn't realize that because I'm like, photo's a photo. Yeah, that's my mom and dad, that's my family when we was 5, 6, whatever. But the way she brings that out to you and she keep reminding you, remember what we did when we was here? Remember what we did when we was there? That makes you get to so now where we at, we're like, oh, I remember where we came from.
Mm-hmm. And
you know what I'm saying? Yes. I remember where we came from. So that's the BTS. So that always give me the respect of.
And sometimes you can just send an image or a clip or a video to somebody with no words, but it speaks.
Because that's how I'm with music.
Loud.
Yeah. That's how I'm with music.
It doesn't have to say anything, but it's like you just wrote an essay. You know what I mean? Just to that. And I'm like, I needed that. Yeah. Like today, my cousin sent me a picture of me and my godson our godson and Dwight. So it was the 3 of us. And I was like, wow. Mm-hmm. And I had my arms around him and just, things that he's going through right now. And I'm like, all I could think of was covering by his godparents. She didn't say anything. She didn't have to. So, yeah.
Yeah. And listen, you guys, I have been a little quiet on this podcast. Yeah. You guys actually got my brain and my spirit going a whole different way, because even just hearing you guys talk about like bringing up those pictures, like now I'm thinking about like how God is omnipresent. Yeah. How he knows everything. And like for us, it takes a picture, but like all of that is present to him all at one time, which like takes us in a whole different, like he has the ultimate BTS across eternity.
Big facts. Big facts.
Well, I don't think we'll have time to go into our lightning round today, but I do want to ask you two, and then also you who are watching, what is something in the creative process that rarely gets seen for you? So that's going to be our final question as we wrap up. What's something in your creative process that rarely gets seen? Who wants to take it first?
Go ahead,
So it really doesn't get seen?
That rarely gets seen, yeah.
Oh.
Like in your creative process.
That it gets seen a lot. Like.
That rarely, like that your customers don't usually see, maybe, was something in your process.
Well, the editing.
Okay.
Sometimes it can be, have you ever been on a shoot and it's like when you come home and sometimes you're eager to just like put something together.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're overwhelmed with like everything that you just, like with Dwight, I can do it right then and there, but I feel like with other clients, it's a little bit different because I know him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So with other clients, I'm just a little bit nervous. So sometimes they don't see where I'm like, I'm proud of myself. Don't get it twisted. I'm very proud of myself, but it's just a moment where you're just like that aha moment, kind of where you got to sit back and be like, I just need a break. Right. For maybe a day. There's a lot of times that I get home and I want to edit because I'm so excited, but there's some times where I'm like, oh, this is overwhelming today, just because I did a lot, not with the photography, but just a lot for the day. Right. So I think that's what people really don't get to see, the editing part, the part when you might need a break for a minute, the part when you're trying to perfect. Mm-hmm. Yes. Get that from my sister over here. So yeah.
No, that's good.
Hold on, I didn't mean to interrupt you. One more thing, the system part too. Yes, that's major. They trying to get it all in a system, the systems of.
So it flows well for your clients, right? So that their experience as well. Yeah.
I think, I think the opportunity to know that there is, so this is this FOMO ministry, right? Of like, man, I don't want to miss out. So it's like when it comes down to how we wake up, how I get ready for so I'm saying the lives now because that's my season right now. Me going lives and stuff like that. So people have that FOMO, like,
shout out to you for 1 million the other day on his live.
Yes, I forgot you hit that.
Yeah, so we had the opportunity to hit 1.1 million, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
1.1 million likes on TikTok within me being consistent for 3 months on this platform. And that's the BTS of nobody realized the consistency of what it takes. I was never a super consistent person, right? Due to procrastination and stuff like that. And stuff like that, I still struggle with procrastination, right? So, but it's just like the BTS part of it that people don't realize is, when you start to become consistent, the wake up. Yes. Like when you're waking up and how long you're on the live. Sometimes where I'm on the live so long where I do miss dinner with Chris. I do miss dinner, you know what I'm saying, with the girls. I do miss dinner with, different things. I miss different appointments and stuff like that. Not intentionally, but I'm saying it's not scheduled because of different things, right? So I have to do it at a different time than what I used to do it. So if I was doing an appointment in the morning, that will get pushed to the afternoon, right? If me and Chris had like a thing that we needed to do with the girls or something like that, you know what I mean? We schedule it around the lives now, right? But it's a balance, right? You get what I'm saying? So people don't understand that. Like when you doing this live thing and it start becoming consistent and you start to grow a community, you have to find that balance of what that looks like. I still want to take care of Chris and the girls. I still want to take care of my family.
You don't have a choice.
Because I don't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? I want to take care of my family, but in real life, it's like the behind the scenes part is like, how do you balance taking care of the girls? I call them my ladies and doing this thing of taking care of people that you don't even see.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm looking at people that I don't even see.
We might have to invite him back on another episode for that one.
Absolutely.
You know, so but to answer that question in short is like just having that opportunity, and people don't realize the balance that it takes.
Yeah.
The complete balance that it takes to take care of you that's looking on the camera and taking care of your family at the same time.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of sacrifice and balance for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Ruby?
And before I answer, I want to, because Dwight was talking for a while, so I kind of want to pull out some points that he said there just for the audience too. So like we were talking about what rarely gets seen, and he's talking about just, you know, being able to balance around the live content that he's doing, and then how that live content helped him drive consistency. And it only took 3 months to hit like a major milestone. So one, I think sometimes that consistency doesn't even take a long time, right?
That's true.
And we're thinking that it may take a while.
Oh, that's so good.
Two, like there's, even though you're going live, there's even more behind the scenes that people don't get to see, like the balance of the family life and everything.
Yeah.
And the third thing that I heard for you, and like it just reiterates for me, is like, just go live. Like it is, like it's so much easier. Like as I heard you talking, I'm like, oh, I don't have to edit nothing. I just gotta turn on the camera and just start showing what's happening. So if you're struggling with consistency and putting out content, maybe live streaming is a place that you go.
Good idea.
And make sure you do the research. So when you do turn the camera on, you have a few eyes watching.
I'm talking about Ruby. It be time like when we hit that 1.1 million. Nobody knew, or the ones that was there, we did 13 and a half hours.
Wow.
I was live for 13 and a half hours that day.
Wow.
Right?
No, but you hit a million
in 4.5 hours.
4.5 hours.
Okay.
But he stayed on.
But I stayed on for 13 and a half only because of the community that I had.
Right.
That rocked with me from the beginning
4 hours,
to the end.
Yeah.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I started at 7 a.m. So the plan was to do 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and to hit 1 million within the 12 hours. So I was already planning on doing 12 hours.
Right.
But I had a community that backed me up and was like, nah, we're going to try to get you that 1 million before the 12 hours is up.
Yes. Yeah,
Let's do it under 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we did that in 4.5. And then we had 800 shares. We had a whole bunch of stuff going on. So it ended up happening the way it did. So when it happened, and it was like, okay, you have the community of people that can keep you on. So when you're looking at the clock, you're like, man, it's only we went from 1 hour to 6 hours like that. It's because you have people that can back you up, and you have a community of people that can lead you and support.
Yeah.
That's so, live streaming is, if you could do that, live streaming, you know what to talk about, and you know how to talk to people, and you talk too much like I do that. For sure.
You can talk.
Yeah. Yes. Well, congratulations on that milestone. I'm sure the first of many. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Give me crickets on that. Thank you.
The first of many, many more. You guys, so because Chris asked me what really gets seen, for me it's that the prep process, and just listening to the two of you and what you challenged me on, of like, what am I going to start showing more? I feel like if I do even start showing that prep process more, it gives me a little bit more accountability as well. So like all I have to start to do is show like the behind the scenes of like, here's this other podcast that I've been wanting to develop, and just sit and turn the camera on and start talking.
Yeah.
So for me, what rarely gets seen by my clients and people that I work with is like all of the prep that I'm doing in the beginning, to make sure that the content comes out the way that we're expecting.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
So what about you guys? Thank you so much for tuning in for this episode. And don't forget to share with us what's something that rarely gets seen in your process, and how are you going to start showing up behind the scenes. So this has been another episode of At the Creative Table. Thank you so much, Dwight, DJ D Dubb, for joining us.
Thank y'all. Proud of y'all. Proud of y'all, for real.
Thank you. And we will see y'all in the next episode. Peace.